Hi, man. How you going? Can you hear me all right?
There.
I'm having a boom issue.
Brandon, can you hear me okay?
Yes. I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay.
I just had to throw down some food so quick.
Me too.
I stayed in the office till about 30 minutes ago.
Nice. Perfect.
There we go. All right, it looks like we have a Patty with us as well.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, you're showing us up being in this, like you're a professional sound booth.
It's really just a closet. Alrighty, so we got Taylor, we've got Dee, we've got Lewis or Louise?
Luis, yeah, you got it.
There we go. We have, I see Andre, Lewis. We've got a Patty. Awesome, guys. How are we going?
Great. Wonderful, wonderful day.
Beautiful, beautiful. Holding off the rain just a little bit today, which is good.
Yeah, this time of the year, still trying to figure out if it was still summer or we're not summer yet. It's fun.
I think we just skipped spring entirely, it looks like.
Hey, Brandon, can you hold the mic up a little bit closer to your mouth?
Oh, God, I look like a Wally, don't I? There we go. That's great. My boom arm is ineffective right now, so... Alrighty. So, guys, we may as well get started. I don't want to value all of your time. And look, I have no real clarity as to how this is going to work out this evening. But I think what's great is that we've gotten together, and each of us has, taken a pretty big leap in getting involved in a program like the Knowledge Business Blueprint. And I think when you meet people that are all committed to taking big steps and leaps towards their dreams and their visions, it's great that we can get together and we can communicate and share the vision. And for those that don't know, Taylor and I have been meeting up for the past 9 weeks and doing our own little kind of mastermind together. And just that alone, the results have been incredible. And so, I mean, my personal wish is that we can build a network together and actually meet each other face to face, get to know one another and learn about each other's kind of visions and dreams so that we can support each other on this journey. For those of you that have been self-employed, you probably know that sometimes it can be quite lonely on this journey. And, we're communalistic beings, aren't we, as human beings? And it's so natural to go in your cave and, think that the world doesn't understand what's going on. But in fact, so many of us have walked this earth for many years and have a lot of wisdom to share. So I think best way to start is probably just with a little intro. Keep it to about a minute or so, and we can go from there. How does that sound, guys?
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Cool. Beautiful. So I guess I'll model that. My name is Brandon Clift. I clearly have a bit of a twinge to my accent. I moved to the States 4 months ago, and from a little surf town called the Gold Coast in Australia, and now call Salt Lake my home. Back in Australia, I owned a gym and I had a team working for me, and we had a great community there. But I just, being 25 and having a gym and having employees, it really got to me, and I didn't have the tools to be able to handle it. So I sold everything and took off to South America for a couple months and made my way here. So my vision is to kind of continue this lifestyle and not get too bogged down by the big bad world again. So that's me. What about Taylor? Take it on.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. My name's Taylor, everybody. I work in the mental health space specifically. So my background is in crisis stabilization, mental health, primarily working with suicidal populations. And for the past 5 years, I've had my own remote coaching business. And so I focus primarily now on helping people kind of destabilize their ideas of identity and their need for a certain kind of identity. And then once we destabilize that, I actually help them define the real purpose in life, what they're really capable of and what they can offer the world. So so I'm kind of entering into all this, and I'm working with Brandon, like we said, on just figuring out how I can scale. I've been working with one-on-one clients for a while and ready to branch into different formats, different kind of groups and virtual formats. So that's me. Nice to meet you all.
Nice meeting you. I can go next. My name is Luis Rosso. I'm originally from Colombia. I moved to the States about 10 years ago, and for the past 10 years exactly, I've been working for an engineering company, developing software. And in the last year, I just decided that I was not being satisfied. I was not feeling accomplished, even though I've been in this company for 10 years now. I was not making an impact in the world. And so talking to my wife, we decided to make some changes and to try different things. And so I've been working, having a mastermind for the small business owners that are starting up and they don't know where to go, how to scale from being just them to start their teams. And so I've been working on that for the past few months. And my wife has dealt with depression for about 5 years. And so together we're working on a mastermind to help women dealing with depression around their first pregnancy. And so we look at the prepartum, postpartum depression and how to handle it. I mean, not to cure it, but how to manage it, how to overcome the difficulties that come not only for the women that are going through this, but also their partners, either a family member, a friend, somebody that is their support system. So our goal is to take it to the next level in both areas. And that's me.
Nice.
Awesome, mate. Welcome. That's much needed. Let's go. The two of you there. I see Anne and A-N-B-R-E Lewis.
Yeah. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm Anne-Brie Lewis. My husband and I, we live up kind of in the Logan area. We have 4 kids. For the last almost 12 years, I've stayed home with our kids. I've done some photography, starting to get into videography. I love working with humanitarian groups. It's kind of one of my goals is to be a humanitarian photographer and videographer and to kind of go around and market for them. But right now I have a bunch of different ideas, but I think the thing that I want to focus on is creating a course that teaches, focusing on moms, on how to create family videos. I'm thinking to call it the modern archivist. Just to teach them how to archive in a modern way, and not just the old way of scrapbooking and different things, but to create family videos that are really fun. And I think it's a big thing. Every time that we put one out of our family, I get a ton of people asking how to do it. And it's really simple, but people just don't go out and figure it out. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Yep. And then I started an organization with a group of friends right out of college called Fight the New Drug. I don't know if you've heard of it. The Porn Kills Love t-shirts. So ran that nonprofit for a while, and then that's still kind of, in the background running itself with donors. About 7 to 8 months ago, we sold our manufacturing company. It was a kitchen cabinet component company that had about 120 employees. We had a transaction to a private equity group in October of last year. And now I have a SaaS platform software. We have about 400 companies that are running our SaaS software. And I'm running that alongside with creating a program that teaches manufacturers how to engage their employees using tools that throughput accounting methods and how to break down silos inside of the organization and unite people using it's we've been implementing a little bit and seen about 40% production increases. So time to put it into a course.
So you guys are
Awesome.
not busy at all.
Good to meet you guys.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Jeez.
Let's just say we have the iPads babysitting the kids right now. So
Well, my excuses are out the door now. So beautiful. Let's go, Patty.
Hi, I am originally from California, Manhattan Beach, which is down by Los Angeles. I've been in Utah for about 6 years. And unlike all of you, I am not quite that defined yet. I used to own my own businesses. I had a video store and a coffee shop in California. Then I worked in the film industry, and I have taken every class online that I see. This one, finally, I think I'm going to be able to put everything I've been learning together and put it into a class, but I am going to start out as a knowledge broker / reporter. And my focus is women, 40s to 50s, who just aren't satisfied with their life. So they, not with their jobs. So they want to start something new and help them do that. So I've done that a little bit on the side for free. I've just never made money doing it. So that's kind of a shortcut. There I am.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Patty. It's good to know we have a knowledge broker in the group. And let's go, Joe.
Yeah, hi. My name's Joe. I'm up here from Logan. The Fight the New Drug guy. Hey, I actually know you probably work with Ryan Werner pretty close.
Yeah,
Ryan,
yeah, buddy.
I grew up together, pretty good friends. I know he just moved back up here, and so we're working on getting dinner. But yeah, Ryan and I are really good friends. That's
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah. So we're big into overseas manufacturing. We've been manufacturing for about 15, 16 years now. We do a lot of computer components. Specifically, we have a product line that is an automation system for quilting machines. We've expanded that into automation for production floors, assembly lines, those types of environments. With us manufacturing overseas, we came up with an idea of all of the knowledge and the network that we've set up overseas, that it would be beneficial for those individuals that are creating products to be able to utilize that network and not have to make the mistakes that we had to make over even the last 16 years, even last year. What mistakes have we made? And so for them to be able to learn from our experience is one of those things we're put together. So I don't know if you guys are familiar on the manufacturing side, but a Shingo prize is a quite coveted piece in manufacturing. It's a prize that they give out for top excellence in manufacturing, and they're actually here in Utah State. And so I'm creating a partnership with them in order for us to be able to utilize recipients of the Shingo Prize, recipients that are going for the Shingo Prize, and for us to be able to bring individuals in, for them to be able to tour the facilities, and then for us to be able to discuss the things that they've seen, as well as discuss things that obviously we've learned, how they can sell their product better, but also our network and how we might be able to help them. Now, I'm not really pitching us, our company, and helping them manufacture. It's just more of, hey, you can utilize our network, and from being a part of our mastermind, there's certain perks that come with being a part of it. And so that's kind of how we're portraying ours. Shingo is kind of our big piece, learn from these top, and I'm talking about top, like Toyota, Foxconn, these big companies, and you can learn how they're running their processes. And then anything down from, so our first place we're shooting on, it's either going to be in Japan or Ireland, where Ireland has a big push, their government has a big push on manufacturing, lean manufacturing specifically. And so a lot of companies there are very open because they have this government tie. And so for us to be able to take individuals to a destination, learn these pieces on at the destination, and then be able to apply those pieces into their respective businesses through our mastermind piece is really what our game plan is. And I'm assuming, I came in a little bit late, I'm assuming that's what we're talking about, right? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah, just introductions. So awesome. Thanks for sharing. Alrighty, guys. So I figured the next question would be sharing a little bit about what your intended, touch on again what your intended mastermind or avenue is with knowledge broking, and then go into a bit more of the why. Why now? Why is this important, and why is this something that you want to see through? And so for me, a big one is when I had my gym on the Gold Coast, we had a great community. It just grew too fast, and I was getting in the way of all growth, and my team was suffering. I was horrible at delegating, but we knew we had something special, and that's kind of the dichotomy I was stuck in. It's like I wanted to get out of it, but the special sauce was kind of keeping me in. And so I've taken a 1-year sabbatical since leaving Australia, and now I've thought, well, you know what? There's people in Australia that still want to engage with me. There's people in the States that I'm meeting that want to see what Zone was all about, because our content is still online and it still gets hits. And so I thought, okay, well, it's time I take this online. And yeah, my why around it is, I've been able to, in the past year, do a lot of traveling and really get to know the world and get to know other people. I spent 2 months in Colombia, Luis, and just loved every second of it. And so I want to continue that lifestyle. I think it's important for this stage of my life. I think it's important for my relationship with my girlfriend is to have that flexibility. And unfortunately, I'm not very employable. I just have too much, my brain just works on too many different gears. So I'm much better doing my own thing. And yeah, I know I want to help people, and I know I have this drive and this desire to help people with their heroes' journeys. It's just, I need to figure out a way to do it now that isn't in person. And so now it's taking all those years of content and experience and packaging it into a step-by-step hero's journey for people that want to take on this program. So that's essentially my why and what I'm hoping to launch. I think we just popcorn it, whoever wants to go next.
All right, I'll go next. We'll just follow along. Where I'm at and my kind of intention with the KBB project and everything is to kind of go full tilt into like live events, virtual masterminds, and some kind of online course that people can buy. Because very similarly to Brandon, at this point I have like 10 years in the mental health space. And so I've worked with tons and tons of individual clients, like thousands at this point. But beyond, and I've like done some teaching, I've done some I've led group therapies and stuff like that. And so for me, this next step is purely like the textbook definition of scaling a solopreneurship kind of situation, where I have plenty of content, like Brandon was saying, that I could just put into a video course, some kind of like online course that I could just give away if I wanted to, or channel it into something like any kind of mastermind about a certain topic, or some kind of retreat, whether I'm knowledge brokering and bringing experts in and I talk with them, or I just lead some kind of event or workshop myself. So Brandon and I, as Brandon mentioned, we kind of started our own little mastermind ourselves, and we dissected all of that just this afternoon. So I'm now at this point where I have like much clearer ideas of what those models could look like. So now it's the point of just laying out the puzzle pieces exactly where they're supposed to go and in what order, and go from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, let me go next. So as I mentioned, I'm from Colombia, and about 6-7 months ago, I was watching the news from Colombia, and then I saw this news piece regarding all these kids they're dying in this small region in Colombia because they don't have any food. And I was like, look, I'm from this country and I have all these opportunities here in the States. I need to find a way to give back. And so I got in contact with a foundation in Colombia who helps in this region. And I was like, okay, how can I help you? And it's like, okay, we need donations. I was like, okay, so I'll come up with something. And I started like working on what else I can do. And that's when I started coaching small companies, so people that are starting their businesses. And then my wife has been dealing with depression, and she's really good at sharing, and seems that people really want to talk to her and open up to her, and she's able to help them through her experiences. So we decided to use that to add more value to people. What we wanting to do is serve. And I think in the last few months, especially in the last month since starting the KBB program, our goal has been to serve at least one person every day, and we've seen the changes in our lives, the changes in our vision, in our desire to really help people in any way we can. So I think that's been my why, just changing my mentality from just being a consumer to really add value to the lives of others.
Awesome.
Nice. That's great.
That's awesome.
Bro, if you and what was your partner's name again?
Bo. I'm Bo Lewis.
Bo. Oh, awesome. So if you guys, then we'll go with Patty and then Joe.
Okay. Yeah. So as far as the course, I'm actually trying to hightail it and get it out by next week, because I want to do it for summer, and summer has started, so I'm a little behind already, but I've been wanting to do it for a long time. So I pretty much have everything together that I want. I just need to get the footage for it. But it's basically going to start. I mean, I don't know if any of you had family videos growing up. I mean, they were on those huge things and, like, yes,
right.
exactly. Just like squashed together. But even still, even as crummy as it was, my brothers and I would sit and watch them constantly. I think there's a connection that people feel either to pictures or video that kind of connects them back to their roots. And so I think for me, it's really important to not only document that for my kids, but to teach other women how to do that. And so I'm going to just teach basic photography skills, basic video skills, and then how to kind of put it all together and to create something that's really special for their kids. And another course that we've talked about doing after that, if everything goes well, is we adopted a little girl from China almost a year ago. And we created a fundraising video. And then we created a video after that is 1.2 million views on YouTube now. And it's just going crazy. And it's also been shared in China and has 12 million views over there. And so one thing that we want to kind of try to do is teach other families who are thinking of adopting how to kind of create, almost in a way, market yourself, either if you're fundraising for adoption or even if you are doing an open adoption, how to show the best side of you. A lot of people will hire a videographer to create an adoption video for them so that people can look at them and choose them as the family. But then they're having to spend quite a bit of money to get a professional videographer, and I kind of want to teach them that you don't necessarily have to spend that money in order to raise the funds for an adoption, because they're expensive. And we know so many people who want to adopt, but funds aren't there. And so eventually that's the next one after this. But we're going to see how this one goes first. So.
Nice.
Let's go. So yeah, and then again, I just sold the manufacturing company about 10 months ago, and we had 120 employees. And as we grew from 30 employees up to 120, that process was pretty tough to, you kind of hit into this different phase, and especially in manufacturing when that you start to get silos inside of the organization. And at the time I was, relying heavily on the wrong metrics. And I think that's one of the most common issues in manufacturing, especially, is that the metrics that are driving the behavior of the people in the factory are actually encouraging the wrong behavior. And so I learned about a really simplified approach. And then there's incredible tools, dashboards like Clipfolio or Domo that are doing a really good job at pulling data and in real time giving feedback on the factory floor. So again, when we've done that and then tied those metrics to principle-based learning, so audiobooks on the shop floor, principles give you a raise. So when you walk through principles to get the raise that was shown you on the dashboard, it's just explosive growth, and it's helping business owners fire themselves. And so for me, there's a big passion there. I watched my dad throw up one night at 1 o'clock when he had just come in from working, and I remember watching him. It just made me sick. And I know there's a lot of owners of businesses that are going through those uncomfortable late night phases of trying to build their business. And so for me in manufacturing, I know it, and those strategies work. And like I said, we have a customer base of 400 customers on our software right now, that those principles, it actually, our software kind of helps solve some of those problems. So I get a dual win of signups by a free course to our software. So it just makes sense that we do that course now as our sales engine for our software company. But my why is to help my dad sell his business. Those strategies did that for him. So anyway.
Oh, beautiful. I can definitely see how it all feeds into itself.
Right.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Double win.
Double win. There you go. Patty, take it away.
Together. Oh, sorry. I had moved my microphone. Okay. So I'm going to tell you why now instead of so much a big why, because I've done this sort of thing in the past, or at least started to, and then I haven't. But why I'm doing it again and why I'm doing it now is I just got my degree, a bachelor's in business, and I'm working for an insurance company here in Salt Lake, and I was trying so hard to do the normal corporate thing, and they kept telling me, no, we value degrees. Yeah, they gave me such a small raise that I'd have to work for them for 20 years to pay off my student loan. So I'm like, oh, thank you. It was like a gift, because I know I'm not really a corporate person. I'm not a work for somebody else person. I'm a work for myself person. So I'm going back to that. And then my big why is always helping people. So right now, when I'm working for the insurance company, I go visit mental health providers, doctors. I'm the provider relations rep. I end up giving people marketing advice while I'm there, particularly mental health, because they always seem a little lost. And so I'm like, well, why am I doing this again for free? Instead of giving them these ideas, why don't I make a course? Why don't I, put something together? So that's kind of how that all came together for me.
You're preaching to the choir on that first part.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Joe.
All right. So obviously I jumped the gun on my first original piece. So let me just kind of paraphrase. Yeah, we're overseas manufacturing. Our parent company, we have several different daughter companies underneath that we have this conglomerate that we try to manage, and through us kind of creating this network as I described, for a long time I've kind of felt the desire to that there should be more. There should be more than just we go overseas, we make a bunch of stuff, we come back to the United States, we sell that stuff. And is that really it? And is that really what I'm destined for? Is just that life of back and forth. And so I'm over there probably 2 months out of the year, 2.5 months. And it's long. And so as I've been sitting here thinking about it, and then as the KBB piece came up, it was just a good fit of, you've got a lot of knowledge and you're able to pull from your team as well on their knowledge and share it. Don't Don't let it die with you. And at the same time, you can make some money off sharing it. But at the end of the day, you're here to help people. And as they've talked about several times, is the financial piece is just secondary if you can really grab onto that aspect of you're here to help. And that's where I kind of really grabbed hold on what they were talking about. Is I've got knowledge that I can share, and it can help somebody overcome 15 years of mistakes in overseas manufacturing. So that's my why.
Cool.
Beautiful. Nice.
It's really good, really good. Guys, I'm sorry I have to step away, but I just wanted to say something. I'm really grateful for all of you. You guys are so successful, and it's awesome. It makes me feel like a small fish in a big pond, which is better than being a big fish in a small pond. So thank you for your success. It encouraged me to keep trying. Right? It's not like I'm riding on the success of Dean and Tony and his team, but all of you guys. So thank you for that. Very grateful for you. I'll be messaging you. I'll be messaging in the group KBB, and thank you very much.
Beautiful, mate. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Thanks. Nice meeting you.
Alrighty. So something I will preface, and I totally respect all that are attending. I did record this video with the intention to chuck it on YouTube so that those that weren't able to make it can watch it. If anyone present isn't comfortable with that, I won't post it. I'm more than happy to not post it. So if you guys are able to just check in with me if I have your consent to upload this video.
Yep. Fine by me.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Cool. Rookie error. I should have asked at the start, but So, alrighty, guys. So I love a question that Joe brought up in our chat around skills that we bring to the table, ways in which that we can support others in this program. It's a big thing that I hear mentioned. Tony and Dean mention a lot. It's about it's not always about what you can get. It's about what can you give in the process, and pay it forward. And so I figured now would be a great opportunity for us to share skills that we bring to the table and ways that we can support one another. And so, yeah, I guess I'll model that again. So skills that I bring to the table, I believe one of the reasons why Zone did so well in such a short, my gym was called Zone. And the reason why I believe we did so well in a short period of time was our marketing. And I can't tell you how to run Facebook ads or anything like that, but I can make pretty fun, quirky videos and content. And I showed Taylor some of them. He cringed at some of them. I assume he liked most of them. But it was amazing that we were so young, and in our town of the Gold Coast, it is the densest population of fitness businesses in the Southern Hemisphere. And so in our town alone of 500,000 people, there are 385 registered fitness businesses, and in 2.5 years, we did rank number 1 among those. And I put it down to our marketing. Were we the best program? Probably not. Were we the best coaches? We're great, but maybe not the most qualified. But we just had really engaging content. And so I love jamming on email sequences and lead flow and pipelines and all that stuff. I just really love geeking out on that side of things. Taylor and I spent a lot of time today looking at kind of like pipelines in a sense of how can we have content lead to the next thing, to the sales page, to the the email follow-up. And I don't know, there's something about that process I just really love. And so yeah, I love content ideas, and yeah, I think that's a strength I bring to the table, as well as people say I'm pretty quirky, I guess, and bring a bit of energy to the table. So yeah, it's enough of me tooting my horn. Taylor, you toot yours.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Let's see. Skills. For me, I'm kind of like the textbook case of someone who had a skill and just started. I was very lucky that when I started my business, or chose to start a business, I had clients right away. Like I had been talking about it enough that people were just kind of like, yeah, let's do it. And my business looked very different mind you, 5 years ago when I started than it does now. But, so I'm the kind of case where I was already just offering the service, doing the service, and then over time had to teach myself or find resources to learn how to actually run the business. So all the other facets of running a business, I've just had to learn along the way. So, it's skill set. I don't really know how to compartmentalize how to share my skills that I could share with you all, except for, a lot of what I do with clients, as well as ways like Brandon and I were talking about of organizing content, organizing workflows, creating time management methods in such a way to figure out what to prioritize and when, but also teaching people pretty quickly just how to follow their energy, follow their gut, and determine really quickly what is the thing that really drives them, what they really want to be doing. So this is not a sales pitch at all, but as an example, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs who are in these, like Brandon, in these kinds of groups who are all just trying to figure out their direction. And I'm an example of that too. I mean, that's part of my why as well, that I've had to determine my own purpose over time as well, which is why I now coach people on it. And so being able to just help people organize their thoughts into something cohesive, into something very directed, but that's based completely on their enjoyment and their fulfillment, I think is one of the biggest skill sets that I could bring to something like this. Certainly plenty of knowledge in my field that I'm happy to, and connections as well in a lot of different fields, because I've worked with a lot of people trying to change a lot of different careers, trying to do a lot of different things. So, I suppose that's kind of it for now. That's just kind of what comes to mind. I'm not sure how to specifically answer that overall question. But actually, one thing I'll say is several of you already, I've already thought of different people I want to connect you with based on what you've shared with me. So we can do that separately, but I already have the gears spinning on things like that.
And I can also, having been a client of Taylor's, I can testify to his process, because a lot of what I was presenting with is I need to find out direction, I need to find out vision. And what I actually discovered was I actually just had a lot of things that were holding onto my heels and cutting my hamstrings in the process. And the cutting away process was the thing that actually gave me the freedom to go, all right, forget all that. I'm just looking forward. And so Taylor can bring that, that perspective to things, which I found very handy, and I believe will be a good asset to this group.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate you sharing that.
Cool. Umbre and Bo.
Okay. I think aside from just the photography, videography stuff, I love storytelling, and I love being able to tap into emotion. And so I feel like that's one of the strengths that I didn't really know I had until the last couple of years. So that's been really fun to kind of look at a situation and figure out what's the best way to tell that story and how you can bring emotion into it and share it with others.
Give her a pen and just tell her a topic, man. You're usually crying by the end,
It's been really fun. And so I've really enjoyed that part of it. Again, I wish Luis was still on here, because he talked about going to Colombia and doing a service project down there. And I love getting involved with those types of things. I just did a fundraising video for a lady going down to Uganda that's putting in wells and different things. I work with the refugees down in Salt Lake City, and I just love doing all of those types of things. So anything that can bring out emotion in people and connect them with that is really important to me. Also, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, I was going to talk to Luis too about the adoption or not the postpartum and depression and stuff, because I never dealt with postpartum depression, but I did have the adoption blues, which is actually a thing which I didn't know about before. So I'm going to have to connect with him too about that. But I don't know. That's all I can think of right now anyway. So
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more, but for time,
that's what is relevant to what I'm doing, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I would say,
just quickly, Umbre, remind me to chat to you at the end of this about the fundraising video side of things.
Okay, sure. Awesome.
Sorry, Bo.
no, that'd be cool. That'd be great. Probably the skill set that I think is most pertinent to this group would be networking, and being able to connect people with different people. I feel like for my age and where I'm at, I do, like I sit on the advisory board for Zions Bank. I've sat in a lot of meetings with like the Attorney General. So I've just, like, if you're looking for somebody in a field, I probably have a connection there for you. And love, like, it's my passion to, like, 1 + 1 is 5, and if it's going to benefit you. So seriously, if you're looking for something somewhere with somebody, just let me know, and I'd love to kind of connect you in there and bring you together with them. So and then fundraising when it comes to like mergers, acquisitions, and like if you're looking for growth capital, anything like that. I have an accounting degree, and so business strategy, where that meets funding, definitely in my wheelhouse. And I'll probably in the long run end up in mergers and acquisitions and running like a private equity group. So
Nice.
You guys are the triple threats.
Jeez.
Quadruple threats. Beautiful. Awesome. And Patty.
Oh my goodness. I'm just going to say that Umbre, Lewis, and Bob are just like my brother, and you're a little intimidating to me. Because he has his fingers in all these pies, and you might even know him. But the skill.
Bo is missing a finger.
Yeah, I cut one off. No offense.
So when you said he has a finger and everything, I'm like, well, he is.
Well, he left a part of a finger somewhere. Oh, don't do that. That's funny. So my skill, which took me a long time to realize is a skill, is looking past things. So like I'm more of like an editor. So if you show me what you're doing and you're stuck on going one way, I'm the what if person. But what if you went this way? And I kind of give people a new perspective. They don't always appreciate it, but or go with it. But I see things definitely outside the box. So I have that combination of creativity and business, but I'm definitely more small business minded. Like I've never really, like when you're talking about you're on the advisory board of Zions, that's never like even been my goal. My goal has been always more of like helping individual people, like mom and pop stores. So I'm really good at going into a mom and pop business and seeing how they could fix it, like what they could do, small tweaks to make a big differences. So I guess that's kind of all still the editing thing. I can just go in and fix something better than I can start something.
Oh, interesting.
Awesome.
I resonate with that.
It's a good skill, Patty.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Joe.
So obviously we talked about the manufacturing side, not just on the manufacturing piece, but we design from scratch to market several different pieces that we currently sell, pieces we've sold off. And so individuals that, hey, I've got an idea and I have no idea how to even make it, let alone how to manufacture it, et cetera, et cetera. I know how to make it, but I have no idea how to manufacture it. We have gone through the gauntlet of processes all the way from scratch to halfway to, hey, I just need to get to market, et cetera. So that's a skill that we kind of have. A piece that I discussed briefly in the mastermind aspect was we can make things extremely well, but I mean, between us, we stink at selling stuff. And then let me preface that we stink at marketing things. When we get somebody on the phone, a qualified individual, sure, we close 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. but to get those qualified individuals into our door or website or on the phone, whatever, we stink at it. We do. And so that's a place that we really, I mean, if you guys have contacts or connections or those types of things, that's a place.
I know this guy named Brandon Clift.
We could really benefit. So another, in our mastermind, a piece that we discuss quite a bit is lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, theory of constraints. We are extremely experienced in creating process flow. Now, a lot of people think about process flow where you're manufacturing a product, and that's not always what it's about. To create a process for everything, and so you repeat it every single time. I mean, Dean even gave the example several times about the airplane, the checklist, and they go through it every single time, and they decreased accidents tremendously.
Yeah.
That process, and so that's one of the places that we really excel in creating processes and how to efficiently follow through and how to create a culture where the individuals are actually bought into the processes and everything along those lines. And that's really what our mastermind is really about, is creating manufacturing excellence, which the overseas aspect is just a piece of it. And so now I'm trying to determine, I mean, based off the things that Dean talked about at the very end, he's like, niche it down, get down like super deep. And I'm like, but I can do so much with the high level piece, hey, we manufacture and it's excellent. Oh, and we also do overseas. Oh, and it's small companies and it's mid-range. And so I just need to better center and just say, hey, you got to pick one of them and go and just commit.
That's a good problem to have, Joe.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, that's really where we excel quite a bit. Besides that, if anybody's looking to play volleyball, I actually coach volleyball up here at Logan High. I'm their Logan High coach, and I play quite a bit. So that's a complete side note.
I wish you were down in Salt Lake. I like volleyball.
Maybe would be a skill that would be beneficial. So that's me.
I say we do a Top Gun themed meetup, and we all just get together and.
I think
Nice.
it was interesting when you were saying about the niche, because I think that's a problem that people have, is they either think everybody is their client, or you're sounding like me where I'm like, I don't want to pick just one, but you forget you're not really picking one, you're just picking one to focus on for right now. Yeah. Like
right.
one at a time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You kind of have the avatar identified.
On my side, is that you're talking to me or Patty?
Yeah.
So even this last week, I narrowed it down even more. So I was really focusing on just business in general. Now it's businesses that are a small to a mid cap, and then based off that, and I'm even going off the employee piece. As you can imagine, when I get into my funnel, I'm breaking down, like I got like 50 bullet points of, hey, you got to meet this one and this one and this one. Oh, and by the way, it's just this cumbersome piece of I'm reading this essay just in order to even determine if I qualify or if I'm valid to get in. So I had to tweak that piece even a little bit. So I'm trying to fix my wording, which I'm not too concerned about that. It's just more of I just need to hash it out a couple times. So I feel pretty confident on the profile I currently have set up. It was just I think big, and I really struggle to wrangle it in. My net is always bigger than I can handle, but I think I can handle it always, every single time. It's the whole thing.
You got a lot of processing speed up here.
Yeah, I wish I did. That's the thing. I think I do. I think I have more than I really
need more RAM.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I want to kind of open it up to you guys. You know, what is a question that you want to ask the group, and then go ahead and model it. Got about 10 minutes, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just ask a simple question. How's that?
Okay.
Sure.
Where is everybody in the training?
So I'm in Logan. Joe's in Logan.
Oh, I think, Patty, were you asking how far along in the online program?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I'm in the second modules currently.
Yeah, I forget which module it is, but I'm in the marketing and like filling the one, like when they're talking about like the funnel and the sales scripts and stuff like that.
So I'm actually finished with it, but I did not do it as I went. So I kind of have to do it that way. Like just I have to get the high level so I can be processing in the background how I'm going to strategically put all the pieces together. And then I go back and I'll actually do it again and implement it slowly, you know. But we've had just a couple of big features that we're pushing out with the software that I had to get put my focus into that, or you know, is going to produce fruit. So I kind of focused there and just, but now I've got it in the background running, you know.
Brilliant.
And I'm just starting on the second module, so just finished the first.
But she'll be done by next week.
I'm kind of jumping ahead.
I'll have the kids at night. So.
Pretty much.
So I don't know if you guys are in the KBB group, but I got stuck in Korea for 10 hours, 9 hours, something like that. And then I was stuck in Hong Kong for 7 hours even before that. So I was able to hash out quite a bit. So that's
helpful.
Really came into play. So yeah, I finished about a week and a half ago. But I didn't cheat. I did the stuff.
You did.
I'm in the second. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and it was just kind of when you guys get to that last part, I mean, they really that section 4, it just really ties everything in. Yes. So, and I just want to reiterate kind of what Dean and Tony say, like often. I was even thinking about in my car today. I can't imagine paying $1, let alone a couple grand for a program, and then just kind of saying, yeah, let's set it on the shelf and let me move on. Let me go back to my previous life. I mean, it's just not me. And so I was thinking about when he talks about, hey, 9%, you guys are in the 9%. You guys are the ones that are still moving forward. And I'm like, 9%. Yeah. Why are 91% of the people just throwing their money away just for something to sit on the shelf? And it boggles my mind.
Yeah.
But I just stick it out. And when you get to that, I think the sales in the third. So when you get into the fourth section of the sales in the second, the fourth section, it ties so much of everything together. Yeah. And it just helps you to kind of be at peace to how am I going to run this thing? Yeah, you're teaching me how to market and you're teaching me how to the key pieces. But literally, what am I going to do at 9 o'clock when everyone shows up? And 9:15, 9:30, and 9:45. I mean, it walks you through almost a whole day. And how am I going to get my venue? And what should I do for food? And should it be grapes or should it be broccoli? I mean, they don't go into that depth, but that aspect of they will help you understand exactly what to do. So that's what I found to be really beneficial. And I just encourage that if you're ever on that fence, come and talk to me. And maybe that should have been one of my things. I can talk all day long to encourage, to say, do it. But anyway, I just stick with it. They'll tie it all together. It's coming.
Nice.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
So now I'm the one who jumps ahead. I went to the knowledge broker module because I kept going like, well, this doesn't really apply to me. So I did that one and then I went back. So I'm on the second module now.
Nice.
In that order. And I'll have it finished this weekend, high level, and then go back for the things that were new. Because a lot of this, I hate to say it, a lot of this isn't new because I've taken so many classes, but it's implementing, right? That's the difference.
Amen. So guys, I want to take this time to let David introduce himself, jumping on the call. David, we've just been sharing a little bit about, a little bit about ourselves, a little bit about the mastermind that we want to create or the course that we want to create, as well as the why behind it. And then lastly, the skill set that you bring to the table that you believe others in this group might benefit from. And so, if you guys, we've got another 5 minutes left, mate. You guys fine? I'm fine with David taking up that last 5, and then we can all wrap up.
Hey, it's good to be here, and nice to see you guys. Sorry, I'm ended up being late, but I thought, well, I better jump on. Better late than never on the call. So, but I'm here. I live in Orem, and I've gone through the course. I finished the course. I went through pretty quick because I was figuring I was going to be a broker for somebody else. And as I got more through the course, I realized I really want to do something myself instead. And I've been going all over the place trying to figure out what it is I want to do. And I think I'm narrowing and we're kind of really zeroing in on what I want to do. And I just need to really, for myself, I guess, come to terms with actually putting myself out there with this topic that's really personal. And so, so I'm going back to the course again. I'm halfway through module 1, really taking more of a time with it and more focus on creating a mastermind course surrounded more for myself, as well as I do want to broker for other people. Yeah, I don't know, like exactly like what, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. What skill set to bring to the group? I give it more time to think of something. I don't know why. I'm just totally like, my mind's just not working right now. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right,
Anything
man.
else you want to know? What?
Yeah. What kind of mastermind? Sorry, I know you were kind of explaining. What are you leaning towards?
Well, something to help those in their lives who have gone through bad experiences, from being bullied, let's say, from having a disability, being overweight, anything like that, and had to, maybe endure years of bullying and the traumatic experience that creates, and be able to bring people together to, 3 years of my own experience and going through just years and years and years of being able to get past certain things and kind of incorporate what I've learned, and essentially kind of really what Dietz is and Tony does is to really condense decades into days, because it took a long time for me to get to where I am with the years and years of abuse that I went through, that I want to be able to create a mastermind to bring people together where we could share, on each other's experiences. I can use the tools that Dean has taught us and really create a nice course around kind of that niche. That's what I'm thinking.
Good on you, mate. I could have used your help going through high school.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And thank you for being open and sharing that with us too. I mean, you literally just hopped on the call, and we're a small group, but we're still a group of strangers. So thanks for going personal and sharing that with us.
Oh, thanks. I already feel like, because we have a connection, just being part of the KBB family, so which is great. We all have something in common, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I also think that's a really relevant mastermind to have, because even just in my job, I see people being bullied. So, who were probably bullied their whole life, and they don't know how to deal with it. So, and
Cool.
Yeah.
go ahead, Dave.
Thanks.
Good job, David.
No.
Yeah.
I appreciate the positive feedback, because I've been just going around and around and around on that topic. They're really, to put myself out there, and are people really going to want to, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe we all have that sort of like thing, like, are people going to want to buy what we have to offer too? And I just want to like really create that mastermind, that course, make it epic and relevant, and just really give it 100%. So see how it goes.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, guys, so yeah, I think in closing, it might be just worth sharing, going around, kind of a bit of a checkout, you could say, of how you're feeling now that we've connected, and who are some people that you'd like to reach out to going forward, create that connection, build that relationship, and see where that leads. It's amazing. I met Taylor at a CrossFit gym, and we just went and got coffee, and we've met every week for 9 weeks now, and it's been amazing. So I'll model that. So Brandon, I'm checking out, feeling a lot of gratitude to come together with this. I underestimated the process of moving country. It's very stressful, and I had 25 years in Australia in this one town, and I was just fortunate to kind of like, everyone knows everyone, right? And I've come to this new place where I've just come with a bag of clothes and my skill set, and meeting new people has been my salvation. It's been the thing that's helped keep this thing between my ears on track and on my side. And so I'm just grateful to have met you guys and heard about your stories. And I'm sure this journey will continue, and we'll continue to watch each other grow and succeed. And I'm just so pleased. Ombre, I'd love to connect with you around a fundraiser that I want to put together for 2020. Something that we started last year, but unfortunately had to pause. And then Bo, I would love to connect with you sometime around the networking side of things, because I was very fortunate to have a strong network in my hometown, but I feel like I'm kind of starting from scratch, and I'm not necessarily keen on investing in the whole BNI approach that I did the first time as kind of my launching platform. I'd rather be a little bit more evergreen and organic in that approach. Joe, appreciate your experience and knowledge on systems, mate. I geek out on systems. I'm a very high I type, and systems keep me on track, and I love to geek out on those things. So I'd love your advice on that going forward. And yeah, so that's me, and I am out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks. All right, I guess I'll go because we're sticking with the order that we've been going in. I'm also checking out with gratitude. Brandon and I spoke about this afternoon, but I'm kind of a freak in that, like, I'm very productive being a solopreneur at home. Like, I can work at home on my own really well. But even though I'm successful at that, you forget the power of like connecting and networking with people. So after a while, when you're like, don't really think about it much, and then I get connected with Brandon and then the KBB thing, it's like, holy shit, you can actually, there's a lot more can happen. And it all is very timely because, as I mentioned earlier in the call, I'm going right up against that wall of how to scale and how to offer new things in the business. So this is the perfect opportunity to connect with new people and either collaborate or just to get new ideas. So I'm very, very grateful to be connected with Brandon doing the mastermind we're doing, but also to be connected in these groups as well. I just think it's so cool that that we can have these conversations so comfortably, and we're all total strangers to each other before tonight. So I think that's really, really cool. And I wanted to thank you all for holding that space for me too. Oh, and connections wise, just so focused on the gratitude. Connections wise, Ombre, there's somebody that I would love to connect you with who's in the archiving and family videography space himself. So maybe you can have a conversation with him. And then Patty and David, I would love to connect with you too, because it sounds as though there's actually a lot of overlap between the things that we're interested and the type of work that I'm trying to do as well. So I would love to just have a fun brainstorm session with the two of you at some point.
Nice. That'd be good.
Sweet.
All right, let me jump in really quick. My kid woke up, so I gotta bail.
Game
But
over.
I do really appreciate your time, and just my last kind of leaving words. I'm just in awe on kind of the group that's been assembled here in Utah, and the group that's kind of been assembled around the world. And this is it's amazing. It's amazing how all of us kind of come together with a very similar or common theme, and it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. That's really awe and excitement is kind of where I'm at. So.
Hey Joe, I'd love to converse with you further about Shingo and some of those things, connections, manufacturing. So
That'd be great.
I think there's a lot of synergy that could take place.
Maybe Ryan can join too.
Yeah.
If you want to come to Ireland, we're looking for February next year. It'd be awesome.
Don't tempt us. That sounds amazing.
If we can combine philanthropy somehow, we're in.
There you go. Yep. Okay. All right. I appreciate it, guys. I gotta bail. I'm sorry.
Take
No
care.
worries. Bye,
See you,
Joe.
mate.
Bye.
Awesome. Ombre and Bo. And who's the little one?
This is Naomi. She's joined us.
Nice.
The iPad battery.
Yeah, well, I think I just want to echo what everyone else said. There's just so much gratitude, for meeting all of you and seeing the huge array of skill sets that are here. I think it's amazing, and all the people that are going to benefit from what's going to come out of this group, I think, is really exciting. So, I'm trying to think. As far as the whole time I kept thinking about skill sets. I'm like, you should connect with this person, this person. So I was like thinking more on terms for you, but I mean, I guess any marketing side of things, that if you're trying to make that connection or finding the emotion in getting people, I think any of you who are starting that, I think that's something that I could possibly help with. He's more of the business mind side of things. I was a business marketing major, but I love to listen to all the business stuff. So I think it's really exciting. But
She listens to me rant.
we talk about it quite a bit. But I just think all of you, everything that you're doing is awesome, and I'm excited to see it all come together. So I'd love to connect with all of you on some sort of scale, but that can be done on an individual basis. So
yeah. Yeah, likewise, checking out. Appreciate you guys. There's a lot of skill on this group. I think I've had ideas for each one of you. So do we have contact info and stuff?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Okay. And I really do. I often talk about what is the real currency, what is currency, and I've come to the conclusion that monetary currency feeds the ability to impact the real currency of people. And we subscribe to that. Our family is dedicated to that. And so if there's anything we can do, to improve your life, that's the real currency. And so we're on board, and just let us know if there's any way we can help. We're here, man. So, and I love to connect people. So let me know by all means, whatever you're looking for.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Power couple right there.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I'm going to jump in now. It's Patty. And I want you to know that I think in the way that you guys do, like all of you have mentioned, I don't always talk in that way. So I want to just first of all give gratitude to everybody about the giving, about the contributing beyond yourself, because that is what I'm all about. I'm not always good at communicating that. So you guys have really inspired me more about that. So thank you for that.
That's nice.
I do have some ideas for Ombre, and I have a friend in California who does what she calls legacy videos, and that might be something, if you want to talk about, I could tell you what she's doing. She's doing really well with that.
Awesome.
And otherwise, everybody else, I mean, I'm sure once I'm more further along, I might have more ideas of like how we can connect or how I can help you. Please feel free to reach out to me, though, if there's anything I can do.
Awesome.
Awesome. Wonderful,
Yep.
Patty. And David.
Gratitude. I'm overwhelmed. This is, I'm looking forward to being part of this group. I've been just swamped. I have, 2 new YouTube channels, and getting into just KBB and just so much going on and work and things that, I'm open to get to know everybody more, and you to get to know me more and make some more connections, and hope that can help out in some way and help each other out. I'm looking forward to it.
Beautiful, mate. Hook us up with some of that deep blue. I'm a trail runner.
Oh.
Everything hurts.
I love Deep Blue Rub. You know it.
Product placement.
I got a half marathon on Saturday. I'll be using that.
Oh, lovely. Awesome, guys. Well, hopefully we can do something like this soon. I'd love to see this happen in person one day. But yeah, I'm sure we've all somehow in the chats reached out. But what do you guys think about putting together like a Facebook group versus just a chat?
Yeah.
I know, another Facebook group. I know. But I just find myself scrolling up and down all the time trying to find something someone said or referenced or cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Right on. Awesome, guys. Well, all the best. Enjoy your Thursdays, and hopefully be seeing you all again soon.
All right,
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks, Brandon.
So much.
Guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.